Hi everyone, great to see you all. I hope you're enjoying the show so far. Thanks a lot for the invitation to the whole Park Street University team. Great honor being here and sharing our perspective about tequila in Europe. Yeah, that's me. I co-founded Mayaciel Tequila together with my best friends in 2020. Since then, we work on reshaping the image of tequila in Europe, and I feel that puts me in a good spot to share some insights on how the category is developing and has developed over the last couple of years on the continents. I have a couple of slides and I've prepared some stats and numbers. So I just kind of flip through. You don't have to memorize all the numbers. It's not only tequila. You can kind of like use tequila as a proxy for mezcal as well, or agave spirits in general. They have a similar trajectory. But the numbers that I'm going to show you now, they focus on tequila. But have in mind that a similar trend is evident for the wider agave spirits category. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. Before we go into the details, just a very quick distinction. When we speak about tequila, there's basically two major differences in quality. One is Mixto tequila, so a tequila where at least 51% of the sugars come from Blue Weber agave. And then you have 100% agave tequila, which is the more premium version of it. And this distinction between Mixto and 100% agave is quite important because it serves as a proxy for quality and different quality groups. Before we look at Europe, let's have a quick glance over the pond and see what's happening in the USA. So essentially, tequila has been a booming spirits category in the US for the last couple of years. We've seen 10% annual growth. And as you can see, the red part, that's 100% agave, so that's the more premium section of the market. While Mixto tequila has flatlined, growing from 80 million liters to now close to 90 million liters. 100% agave has more than tripled in volumes. And thanks to this premiumization trend in the US, tequila is now, or like agave spirits are now the second highest grossing spirits category in the States. So very impressive dynamics in the US markets. Here in Europe, the picture is somewhat different. Until 2020, till the pandemic hit, the market has basically been not seen any growth and has been flatlining. Then we saw a major uptick during the COVID years. Those numbers, however, you have to take with caution. So those are export statistics from the Mexican tequila authorities. They give you data how much tequila is being shipped into each European country. However, they cannot track if, say, we as a German company, we import into Germany and afterwards sell to Denmark. That's kind of like out of the scope of the tequila authorities. So those are primer destination countries. And with Europe, we mean in this context, the largest five economies, Germany, the UK, France, Italy, and Spain. So to summarize, nothing has happened until 2020. The market has been flatlining. Then we saw some good increases during COVID. And the 2024 run rate suggests that a bit of normalization takes place. But then again, a lot of wholesalers and importers just tried to fill their warehouses during the pandemic years. And now this is more of a stabilization, but on an elevated level. And important to highlight, the Mixto category still dominates. And 100% agave, so the premium tequila doesn't play as much of a role yet. So why is that? We've seen 2024 run rate exports into the US are exceeding 330 million liters. At the same time, there's around 336 million people living in the States, which gives you a per capita consumption of 1 liter of tequila per person. In Europe, it's quite different. We're at 25 million liters at a similar population size, which gives you not even 0.1 liter per person. So in essence, per capita consumption in the US is 13 times higher compared to Europe. And a couple of reasons for that, of course. So firstly, in the US, you have a strong Hispanic community that's been shaping the drinking culture for decades. Like a margarita is a classic in almost all the American bars. Then, also very important, Mexico is a top holiday destination for US citizens. And there again, they're exposed to good tequila and they get to know the culture as well. And thirdly, you've seen a growing celebrity involvement, who then kind of like promote the tequila on their Instagram and social channels, and also open up new customer groups. So, for instance, when Kendall Jenner posts about her tequila, she reaches customer groups that maybe have not been affiliated with spirits consumption before. On the other hand, here in Europe, we've seen that low quality still dominates and people just don't get the good stuff to try. And there's also a lack of drinking culture. Like tequila cocktails and long drinks don't play as much of a role, which is luckily changing. But still, the dominant form of consumption is a shot with salt and lime. So still has this image of a party spirit. And there's some weird stereotypes floating around about agave spirits in general, or tequila specifically. People expect you to have a worm inside the bottle and all those odd questions. So it's just to summarize, like the big problem in Europe, it's the lack of education and the lack of availability of good tequila. But at the same time, when you look at it and you see that the US is already at 13 times per capita consumption, that also gives you an understanding for what's possible in Europe if kind of like the market picks up and you see a similar dynamic that what can be witnessed in the States. So going further into Europe, tequila has been on the rise in the US for a couple of years now. And of course, the big brands, they want to internationalize. So they're now coming to the continent and with their marketing budgets try to increase awareness, which ultimately should translate into demand. But the speed of adaptation varies a lot across different markets. So Germany is somewhat lagging behind and the Mixto share is still exceeding 90%. Other markets like the UK and Italy are doing much better, where 100% agave has already reached 70%. Again, this is destination countries, right? So say you have Espolòn tequila, which belongs to the Campari group. Chances are they bring a lot of their liquid into Italy first and then distribute it across Europe. So those numbers can be a bit diluted because of those effects, but in general gives you a very good understanding for where the different countries stand in terms of adaptation. To summarize it up, and then I think my time is up anyway, tequila is booming in the USA. Here in Europe, we still are only at the fraction of the per capita consumption, but there's massive growth potential across those different European markets. And there's the industry makes good efforts to internationalize the success that we've witnessed in the States. And as you saw, the trend is slowly reaching European shores, with Italy and the UK leading the way. But in general, more education is still needed to not only build awareness, but then ultimately also increase demands. And the on-trade should serve as an entry point where people change their perception about tequila for the first time and get in touch with 100% agave. And then finally, as the product offering improves overall, there should also be more home consumption, and the tequila trend should continue in people's living rooms. That's it from me. Just some quick remarks about us. We try to have a very innovative approach on tequila with 3 exciting qualities that you're very happy to try. You will find us right at the entrance of the Palais at the right side. So after the session, after the Q&A, feel free to stop by and sip some tequila and try some tequila for yourself. Thanks a lot.